Question 7, Elaine Murray.
Thank you, Presiding Officer. To ask the Scottish Executive what consideration it will give to the A76 5-point action plan that was launched in November 2010.
Stewart Stevenson.
In the last 3 years, we've invested over £11 million in managing and maintaining and improving the safety on the A76 trunk road, which included £5 million on the major upgrading of the section at Glenarley, completed in December 2008. Transport Scotland will work with the A76 Corridor Partnership on those proposals identified in the action plan which are consistent with the Government's aims for the A76. These aims were set out in the Strategic Transport Projects Review published in November 2008.
Elaine Murray.
Well, I thank the Minister for his reply, but of course he is referring to the former action plan, and if there are significant changes in capital spend and projects are not going forward, there is the opportunity, I think, now to review. Upgrades to the A76 are necessary to improve the safety of this trunk road and for the development of the local economy. And campaigners were very disappointed when the Minister cancelled the improvement to the Ellisland stretch, where many accidents have already happened. Will the Minister meet with representatives of Dumfries and Galloway Council and East Ayrshire Council, who have worked hard on this project over many years, maybe possibly on site so you can see the problems on the road, to discuss how this new action plan can be progressed?
Minister.
I always believe that working with local interests is far and away the best way of taking forward issues like this. I would say a review of the cost and benefits of the Ellisland scheme showed that it did not provide value for money, and we are now proposing to investigate alternative improvement options for this section of the A76, which will deliver value for money.
Alistair Morgan.
Thank you, Presiding Officer. Could I commend the plan to the Minister? It isn't just an unrealistic wish list, as so often happens in these cases, but I think it's a modest and very well thought out plan as to how the key problems in this important route should be improved. And I would urge the Minister that when capital does become available, that he gives it full consideration.
Minister.
There are a range of plans which we've worked up across Scotland, of course, that are awaiting capital allocation. But in response to Dr Murray, I did say I would be happy to meet local interests. And of course, if we can work up something that is both affordable and addresses the issues at Ellisland, we'll be happy to look to whether capital can be available.
John Scott.
Thank you, Presiding Officer. As the Minister is aware, the delivery of vital safety works on the A77 at Bog-End Toll in my constituency, which of course intersects with the A76 at Kilmarnock, have been delayed for many years and are now scheduled to be completed during 2011-2012. Can the Minister provide an update on this project and assurance that every step possible is being taken to meet that completion date, and if possible an estimate of when construction work will begin?
It's about as tenuous as it gets, but Minister.
Presiding Officer, with the innovative approach to parliamentary questioning taken by our friend Mr Scott, I'm happy to respond that I'm pleased that we have this in the programme. I will, if he will allow me, write to him with further information on that particular subject, which will come to hand shortly.
Willie Coffey.
Thank you. Clearly this is A76D. A recent study demonstrated that signalling alone won't solve the congestion on the Belfield interchange, which links the A76 with the A77 and A71, which is a major access road for Kilmarnock. Will the Minister ensure that Transport Scotland works with East Ayrshire Council to address this issue, which is a real constraint in local development and in the economy of Kilmarnock and Loudon?
Minister.
There has been a traffic simulation study in consultation with East Ayrshire Council and Transport Police, Strathclyde Police, I beg your pardon, and Transport Scotland have determined there is no potential directly for increasing the capacity of the Belfield interchange with the existing infrastructure. But given the constraints of the existing footprint at Belfield, it will require significant infrastructure upgrades. We wrote to East Ayrshire Council in September, recommending that the impact of future developments to be determined and opportunities sought from developers to contribute towards upgrading the infrastructure. We will continue to work with East Ayrshire Council to bring improvements to this interchange.
George Fowkes.
Thank you, Presiding Officer. Can I, as a regular visitor to Ayrshire still, ask when the Transport Minister expects the New Cumnock bypass to be given the go-ahead, and will he confirm whether the officials advising him on this are the same ones that advised him on Sunday evening?
Minister.
I prefer to rely on my roads officials rather than perhaps the difficult situations we had on Sunday. But the member visiting Ayrshire is always, I'm sure, a pleasure for him, as it is for us to have him there rather than here. We are, of course, keeping the situation at Cumnock under review.